Hello Super Sentai fans and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today I'm taking a look at the SHODO Super Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger Set 2. So this is pretty cool. So this is the second SHODO Super set that I've ever had in my collection, following my review last month of this very, very awesome set, which was Gokaiger Set 1, which a little title card or a little end card thing should be popping up here for you guys to check out my review on this. This set was fantastic. I love this set so much. It's actually just sitting here in this box, just kind of chilling. So like these are these little 3.75, so like nearly 4-inch figures of Super Sentai members, and this had the entire core team from Gokaiger alongside a ton of accessories like Navi and the Galleon Buster and different forms of the pirates and so many hands and swords and everything. However, obviously it was missing somebody, and that was Guy. So he's not on the box, he wasn't anywhere in this set, and that is what Set 2 is here for. So this is the first time that a SHODO Super set has had kind of a sequel to it. We've never had a Set 2, like a formal Set 2. There's been 2 other Sentais that have had more than one SHODO Super release, with that being Bioman, with BioHunter-Silva getting a separate release, and Duke Org Roki getting a separate release for the Gal Ranger line. But this is the first time we've actually had a team broken up between 2 different sets. So this came out like late August 2022 here, and now I'm taking a look at it here in about mid-September. So this is kind of just the month of GokaiSIlver, because the GokaiSIlver Memorial Edition should be out this month as well. But this is not just GokaiSIlver, so let's go ahead and take a look at it here. So from first glance, it's going to look pretty much like the same box as the original set. What is kind of neat though, so this is the back of the box. It basically recreates the Set 1 box, but is like the full team now, because it just says SHODO Super Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger. It doesn't even say Set 2 on there. So it's almost like they know that this is the actual proper Gokaiger like team box, with Guy on there and everything. But obviously, it's like the same size box as the full team, so it's not just Guy in here. There he is just by himself on the front, because this is the only actual like full figure in here. However, you do get the gold mode armor on here. So, and this is kind of deceiving because it does have all the 6 Ranger helmets painted like that, but there is also stickers if you want to cover them up with the full details, and we'll take a look at that. And there's the Gokai spear in his hand. Now, it's very strange. You'd think that they would really want to like focus on this in the advertising of this set or on this box, and it's on the side where you see all the accessories, but you also get all of the GokaiCross Armor from Ten Gokaiger. So that's why this box is so big, because you get one full figure and then you get a bunch of armor. So you do get all of the individual armors there for red, pink, yellow, blue, and green. You can put them on the original figures from Set 1, which obviously we're going to take a look at. You can also put all of them on Marvelous at the same time to do the full cross armor mode. Gold mode is also swappable between at least all the males. You can put it on the females, but you can't fully make it how it's supposed to be. So enough talking about it. Let's go ahead and dive into this set. So this, as of right now, is my last SHODO Super. I got it flipped around, that I have ordered. But I really want more of these, because I was very impressed with the first Gokaiger set, and I'm sure this is not going to be any different. So we have a bunch of different bags and stuff in here. And of course we have our little sticker instruction manual. Got even more bags. Here's the stickers, which, oh boy. Oh boy. And then we have more bags. And then, of course, since it is a candy toy, you do get a piece of candy. These little lemon flower candies, which are actually pretty good. So let's take a look at what we got here in all of these bags. So here's the main bag, which, ooh, that looks pretty good. So we have GokaiSIlver there. Now, I know some people are upset that he's not as silvery or as metallic as he probably should be, but I think that's not too terrible. So there he is right there. Obviously he is fully painted. Pretty much all the stickers are just for the weapons essentially, and the gold mode armor, which, speaking of which, the gold mode armor looks fantastic. Very nicely metallic gold painted there. And they technically like sculpted all of the 6 Ranger helmets. I mean, they did a pretty good job for a 4-inch figure. I'm kind of looking at all the details there, like Shurikenja even has like that shuriken sculpted on there, and Shinken Gold has the kanji. Like, it is sculpted in there, and everybody's painted the correct color. So if you just like from a distance want it to just be this, go for it. Like, that's great. But they also do include all of the 6 Ranger helmets on very tiny little stickers if you do want to have the full detail, and I am going to do that. And then we have the cross mode armor for red, which looks really, really cool. Also, what's special about this set is that this is, as of right now, the first time and only way you can get figures of the cross armors from Ten Gokaiger. And then you have the Gokai Spear, which instead of you like swapping out the piece or anything like that, you get 3 different versions. You get the gun mode, the Triton mode, and the spear mode. You also get a very tiny GokaiSIlver and a very tiny GokaiSIlver with a gold anchor key in there. So that is pretty neat. So there is that bag. This bag is going to be Blue's like claw sword weapon thing and Pink's entire leg swap with the little cannons. And then I think this is just the back of this, or is it? No, I think it goes. I'm actually not 100% sure where this piece goes, but it goes somewhere. And then similar kind of thing with the green's big gun and yellow's like, I like that a lot. The swords on the foot and everything, that looks really cool. And then here, these are kind of the swappable pieces for the armors. So you have the crotch piece of gold mode, where it kind of replaces the buckle. You have the crotch piece of cross mode. You have swappable arm pieces for Gokai Red, which I can't show off very nicely there. So those are for the cross mode, and then you get the swappable head for GokaiSIlver gold mode. And then finally, you do get a ton of hands again. Not as many as last time, but these are they might be the same hands. I think this is just one set of the same hands you had from Gokaiger. So you still have like the Ranger key holding hand and all that kind of stuff there. So pretty good. And then taking a look at the stickers, I think it's just this one little sheet, which is actually not too terrible. So it is the GokaiSIlver, 2 different versions of that. You get the gold mode, and then you just have a ton of repetitive stickers on the Gokai spear and everything. And like I already showed off, all 15, right? 15 Six Rangers that GokaiSIlver represents. So there's all of them there. Nothing on the back. And then here, this is the little instruction sheets, or actually, yeah, instruction sheets. It's not just like a fold-out one. So yeah, looks like we have one for GokaiSIlver and his gold mode. So there is it showing that you can clip it on there, and that you clip on the anchor pieces and the shoulder pads. You swap the head, you change the crotch piece. And then back here, it's just showing you where to put the stickers. So like where all the helmets go, if you couldn't figure that out. That there's a special hand that can hold the cellular, all that kind of stuff. The hands you should use to hold the spears, all that stuff. And then this is for GokaiCross. So it's showing you very similar to gold mode, basically, what you can combine back here for Gokai Red's version of it. And then basically you just follow the same instructions. It shows how to swap the foot for either pink or yellow. And then here, how to swap the arm for either blue or green. And then you just follow all those instructions together if you want to make the full cross mode. So I'm going to open everything up here. We're going to sticker it all up. And then we're going to come back for the rest of this video. Okay, so about 45 minutes after the first part of this video, I have finished stickering everything and getting all the hands out and opening everything. And yeah, there's quite a bit in this set. So it is cheaper than the first one. Toe Collectibles had this set for $88, if I remember correctly, and the original set was like $120 or something like that. So I mean, it's like $200 for these 2 sets, which is very expensive for sure. But I mean, the paint detail on here, the quality of these is really, really good. So take a look at GokaiSIlver himself. I have not given him any hands because all the hands are in this pile here. But like now that I kind of look at it, it might be a little too dull of a silver. You can see his head there does have metallic silver on it. And if like that same silver was on the whole suit, this figure would look very, very nice. And without it, it does kind of just look very strange that you have that metallic silver and the rest is not. And I thought they had said something about that in the Candy Toy blog about how they were going to make him a little more silver in the final version. But they just kind of didn't. So that's very strange. But you know, it is what it is with that. But kind of taking a look at him here, the paint is very nice on the helmet and everything. It doesn't really, the lines are very clean. There's not really any bleed over or anything like that, which is very good. So I'm quite happy about that. And articulation wise, it's the same as the other ones. So you have a ball joint there. You do have another joint there. The arms can move all over the place. They can rotate up there. They can bend at the elbow, which, oh, his arm's backwards. That's why. They can bend at the elbow. There is joints there. They can rotate there, bend at the knee. It's on a ball jointed foot there. It can rotate there. You can also separate it there for armor swaps and everything like that. Same thing there. There's just pretty much everything can unpeg everywhere, and the detail is very nice on the suit, except for they did not sculpt the little Ranger key on there, but I'm not super surprised by that, because that would be a pretty crazy detail to get if they actually included that. So let's see, what kind of hands should we give him? I'm thinking probably a GokaiSIlver holding hand, which is a little tricky to get in there. And there's so many different hand options, but yeah, that was significantly tricky. And then we want to definitely have him having a hand for holding one of the weapons. So we'll go ahead and peg that in there. So you do have this peg hand, which I think he has at least 2 of those, and that can hold these. The very, very tiny GokaiSIlver, which is incredibly detailed for the sticker. I mean, absolutely crazy. And then this one was 2 different stickers that made up the one for gold mode. One was the anchor key sticker, one was the whole cellular. Nothing on the back or anything. I mean, it is nicely sculpted back there, but basically you just take the peg on this and clip it in, and he can hold the GokaiSIlver. He can like take a phone call if he wants, and it's actually, I think, scaled pretty nicely. It does actually kind of look like, you know, an actual proper size with the phone or everything like that. You can have him hold it out like he's going to do a Gokai change. You can kind of give him another one of these what's a good pointing hand he has. There's so many different hand options with fists and holding hands and waving hands and Ranger key holding hands and everything like that. So many different options here, which is just really cool. But this is almost like he's clicking one of the buttons or something to transform into a past Ranger or whatever. So I don't know, that's just kind of what I got going on there very quickly. But yeah, it's a very good figure. I do quite like it. And it does complete Gokaiger in the SHODO Super line. So you can get him in a lot of nice poses. And then, of course, for his base mode, you do get the Gokai Spear in its Spear mode, which had stickers all over that and on the back and everything like that, but it does turn out pretty nice. You have a tiny little one on the key slot and everything. It's just all black plastic there. So there is the Gokai Spear, and it does scale very nicely with him. And this is one of these kind of pliable rubber hands so he can hold it. You can have him hold it out. And then we'll pose him with the cellular or something like that. So you can get him into whatever pose I got going on here. Kind of maybe bring it over his back a little bit. So there is Guy, ready to go. So, oh, and there he goes. So, very fun to have this figure here, which he does not want to stand with the weight of the GokaiSIlver, or Gokai Spear. But he can. I believe in him. There you go. So we'll bring him back there. And then you also get, for his regular mode, you get the Gokai Spear in gun mode. A version he doesn't use quite often, but he does use it a little bit. So it is cool that you get it nonetheless. And then before I swap any armors around or anything like that, we'll kind of try to move everything off. Here's all of the GokaiCross pieces, which we'll get to. Because down here, I have the whole team. So I don't really know what poses I had going on here before, but everybody, because these joints they're not loose, but they are very easy to move around. So you kind of just have everybody doing whatever from the last time I messed with these guys, which was like a month ago, and they just been sitting in my box. So if I can get Guy, he's not going to stand like that. If I can get Guy to stand, then we want Marvelous up in the front, and then we'll have Joe somewhere like that. Oh, maybe not. I could have them do their like proper team poses, but this is good enough. Here's Luca back there, and then I am, who has the key for the Mabarates, because I was just kind of testing out a bunch of different random hands in my last video, and these are not really centered. So I'll move yellow over there, blue and red. We'll get gold mode out of the way there so we can have silver. And then green back there. We'll move the spear down. And pink. So there is... Oh, the spear is still in the way. I was so close. There is SHODO Super Gokaiger. And we'll move it over to the side just a little bit to get everybody in there. So yeah, these look fantastic. I'm very, very happy about all these. being a thing. I mean, I think they scale nicely, obviously. I mean, they're the same size, pretty much the same figures. Obviously, Silver does have new molding and everything because his suit is a little bit different than the other ones. But for the most part, you can, have really good poses with tons of weapons. You can recreate pretty much every little pose from the show or anything like that with these, and they will look nice if you have other SHODO Super Sets, because, you can have them pretend like they're Gokai changing and stuff like that. You won't be able to get matching, like, with the skirts and whatever, there's the suit changes like that, but for the most part, you got some pretty cool stuff going on there. So we'll go ahead and move pink and green and blue and yellow out of the way here. I will leave Marvelous sitting up there for a second, because I am going to swap some stuff around with him. But of course, this is the first time where we have some armor swaps to take a look at here, and that is where GokaiSIlver Gold Mode comes in. So we'll go ahead and kind of leave, technically he should have the different GokaiSIlver, but I'm not going to really mess with the hands or anything too much there. So that's where these little instruction sheets from earlier come in. So as you can see, the armor is already separated into a bunch of pieces, and so basically we just got to swap some things out. Now I think you can just take the crotch piece and clip it. So I do have to actually, does it actually unpeg? Hold on. That seems like it's very tricky, because it looks like it just kind of pegs into the buckle there, but I feel like that's, or wait, hold on. Is there like a piece that it pegs into on the chest? I guess not, because there is like a little peg there, but I don't really know how that would swap out unless I really do have to unpeg this, which seems, oh, okay, yeah, there we go. Wow, that is so tiny. And then you kind of just have to finagle these pieces around, which the leg kind of gets stuck in there, so it's kind of hard to line this up properly. And then, oh yeah, technically he would have the wrong spear as well, so I should probably swap that, because whenever he's in gold mode, he has the anchor version of it. And then I guess to be technically correct, I will swap the GokaiSIlver in his hand for the one with the key in it, like so. Alright, so we got him holding the correct accessories, so we are definitely getting there. We do gotta take his head off, because that's going to be swapped for this one, which is the gold mode head. And then we will clip this chest piece in, which does not want to clip back in. There we go. And then we'll take this shoulder pad. It should just be able to clip back in and onto that joint. And then this one back into that. Oh, that was very easy. And we'll kind of angle him a little bit properly here. And that is the SHODO Super GokaiSIlver Gold Mode. And that works pretty well. So it's obviously going to limit his articulation and everything, but like that is pretty good. Let's take a look at all those chest stickers. So my Abre Killer one, I feel like the chest sticker was too big for the little bubble that they had like accommodated for it. Everybody else fit onto the little sculpting pretty well. And they're extremely tiny. Like, look at my fingernail compared to that. They are very, very tiny little helmets for Gold Mode's armor. But, I mean, it does work. It does look pretty nice. So there is all of those there. And like I said, Abre Killer is just like a little too big for whatever particular reason. But that looks really good. And on the back, it's even painted back there as well, which I think is a very nice detail. Very nice metallic gold and black paint on the Gold Mode. Very, very good. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So there is GokaiSIlver in his Gold Mode, which we'll put back there. And there's the tiny little buckle to not lose. So there is that. Now, I'm going to immediately take this armor off. Here is Gokai Red Gold Mode. So this is a thing from the Super Sentai Strongest Battle and the Hyper Battle DVD, and is like the first time I can think of, at least, that you can actually have a figure of Gokai Red Gold Mode. So I really, really like that quite a bit. I always thought that this worked well for Marvelous. I'm really happy he has his own like proper power-up now, of course, but that is pretty sweet. So I'm definitely pretty happy with that. We'll go ahead and take this back off again. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to just kind of keep swapping it around. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it like constantly, because I don't want to like wear down all of these pegs and joints and what have you. But still, it is cool that you can do that. I'm going to leave his buckle off because we are going to be swapping him into a GokaiCross mode now. But I am going to give Guy the armor back just so we can do a team pose at the end. Coming across here, so these little back plates here are for the back of the feet when we swap that. And then this one you actually have to change his like shoulders because they are different for GokaiCross. So we'll go ahead and unpeg Marvelous's arms, and then these are going to swap in. Okay, I see. So you're gonna swap it out right there, and this one is this arm, I think. Nope, it's this one. So I knew I was gonna get that wrong. So there it is. It's a new piece. It does match red-wise and everything, so that swaps out for that. And you just have this other shoulder piece there. And then we'll do the same thing with his other hand. So you just separate it at that joint, and then you replace it with the new piece. And then I think I messed that up though, because you still need the shoulder joints. My bad. So you actually are just swapping. That's a little weird. So ow, that hurt a little bit. Okay, I got it. That was very tricky to swap those. So I am definitely not going to be doing that too often. But I finally got those pieces swapped out. And then basically they want you to separate this into like pieces to connect it all. And I can see why, because it's definitely kind of tricky to like try to just maneuver it in there. So this is painted gorgeously, by the way. Like, look at that. Look at all that detail before we connect it to the armor. Like, that is so pretty. I love that so much. So basically it separates in a capacity. So, it separates down the half like this. Okay, that makes sense. And then you can take this piece out, which pegs it together. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Okay, so then we just place this in there. However we can. We can place his arm through there. And then there is that peg back there, which is this is going to clip into like that. And then we'll kind of just rotate this. Oh, geez. All right, got one arm through, and then we just gotta angle this arm through, and then we will recombine the armor like that. We're getting somewhere now. So now the arms are locked in, and then we'll give him his waist back. But before we do that, we'll change the buckle to this formation, like that. And then we will clip this there, wrap those around, and then he still should have his joint there. And then we'll kind of angle this there, kind of readjust that, put that up there, and then we pretty much have it, and we'll just seal it back here with that little piece from before, which is like the back of the galleon, which the pieces are not 100% flush together. Yep, just these two pegs. And there we go. There is Gokai Red Cross Mode, or GokaiCross Mode. So that is really cool. I love this armor quite a bit that they made up for Marvelous for this movie. Like, that is pretty neat. I really do like that quite a bit. So that looks really good with like all the paint, and it matches nicely. You got the cape and everything. So there is Gokai Red with that. And then we'll go ahead and grab Guy and kind of have him posed up, which this is not going to be perfect. There's going to be accessories all over the place, but there is GokaiSIlver Gold Mode, which I'll kind of start building a little lineup here. And then we have Gokai Red GokaiCross Mode. So there is them. And then we will try to fit everybody else in here somehow. But there are pieces all over the place. So we'll kind of move that out of the way. So we'll go ahead and bring in Gokai Blue. So Gokai Blue is going to have his arm replaced. So we'll take that off like that. And then you pretty much just, this one's extremely easy. You just replace the arm joint in there. See, I said super easy, now it's going to be really difficult to peg that in. But you just have to finagle it in there like that, and there we go. So that just replaces his hand joint, which actually I think I got that backwards. Let's try it like that. It is a little tricky to get it to peg in. So I know you're supposed to have like the Gokaiger symbol. See the arm got all twisted around. Like, that's so kind of frustrating. There we go. So there's that, which is painted also very, very nicely. I love that these don't have any stickers on this part. So there is Gokai Blue with the swords, which looks really cool. I really do like that one a lot. So we'll go ahead and put Joe back there with the swords. And then we'll go ahead and grab Doc. And then very similar thing, just going to replace the hand peg with the giant gun that he has, which there we go. Want to hear that little peg or that little click, and there's that, which also looks very, very nice. So there's Gokai Green with GokaiCross mode, which obviously does make it a little heavy. And then probably have to move these guys up a little bit if we're gonna fit everybody. Something like that. And then for the girls, so pink, you're going to swap it right there. Grab the new leg piece, and that's just gonna peg in just like we just did with the arms, which is easier said than done apparently. Yep, that's exactly what I need to do. So yeah, there's a swappable piece for the female leg. So there is Gokai Pink with the little barrels on the gun. We can kind of have her sort of stand back there, and trying to have it so you can see all of the armor. And then Gokai Yellow, swap out the boot there, take the little back cover off of there, and that just came off completely. So that can detach apparently, which is good to know. Actually, you might have to get to the little joint. And then we'll swap it out for this one. So that explains what these back covers were for, which I'm trying to put the wrong one on. Oh, and there it goes, falling behind the shelf. And there it goes on the floor. And we got it. So there is Gokai Yellow with the leg attachment. And then we'll kind of try to get her posed somehow back there, so you can kind of still see it. So that is, I can do better than that, right? Let's get green. But you add so much weight to these. So there is them, and then there goes red, or there goes gold, silver, whoever. So, all right. I think that's the closest we're going to be able to get to a nice team shot. Oh, there goes his crotch piece. Oh, we're so close. So these are very fun, but as you can see, they're a little, kind of just a little finagly here. But there it is. There is kind of the closest I can get to an all Gokaiger powered up form. So this is very thrown together, as you can tell, with the poses and everything. But you get the gist of it. So now, the last thing we can do is combine everything together for Gokai Red all cross mode. Which, yeah, that's going to be fun. So I'm not even going to try to bother having like a nice pose of this, because this is pretty much just going to wrap up this video with this. So we'll grab that arm from green, we'll grab the arm from blue, we'll grab the leg from yellow, grab the other leg from pink, and then we do have to swap back out those plates. It's full cross mode, so there it is. You can make it from the end of Ten Gokaiger. And if you can pull it off, it does look pretty cool as he kind of tries to just stand up in this pile of accessories. So there he is, Gokai Red full cross mode, which does look really, really cool. I do love this. It's basically like a very big Gokaiger battleizer, essentially. So, and probably like the only figure of this thing that's ever going to exist. And it's captured beautifully here. I mean, it's very nicely painted. Doesn't really have much articulation left after this, of course, but you know, it's still something you can do nonetheless, and I do quite like how this turned out. So that is Gokai Red full cross mode, and that is pretty much going to do it, kind of just showcasing here the two, you know, the brand new figure and all the armor. So that's pretty much everything you got for the SHODO Super Gokaiger Set 2, which has GokaiSIlver and all of the armor. So this is it for SHODO Super Gokaiger, and I definitely do want to pick up more SHODO Super sets. At the time of this recording, they just announced and put pre-orders up for the Gokaiger set, which looks absolutely beautiful, and I cannot recommend these more. They are extremely pricey, of course, and of course you do have the stickers, and you saw how kind of finagly these are. But they're really good representations of these figures, of these characters, of these suits, allow you to do all these different power-up forms, and give you figures to stuff that usually doesn't get figures, especially in Sentai. We didn't even get a figure of that in Power Rangers at like the 5-inch scale, which was very unfortunate, even though they did make a figure of it back in Gokaiger that was like sort of, I mean, you can swap armor and you can make it into a key and everything. But this, I think, turned out pretty nicely. I really do like the fact that you have the sticker options to where if you want to go through the extra detail and get all the 6 Ranger helmets on there, you can, but if you also just want to leave it to where it's painted underneath with their like main color, you could just leave it at that. I love that GokaiCross's armor is all fully painted. You get all these hand swappable things and tons of accessories and weapons, everything you would want it to have. And if you have the two sets together, it's really worth it. Especially, I mean, I highly recommend you having the first set if you're going to get the second set because you have all the armor and everything. And I mean, you still have a lot you can do with Guy on his own, but then you're just going to have all this extra armor if you don't buy the first set. So there is that, and that will do it for my review of SHODO Super Gokaiger Set 2, which I got off of Toku Collectibles, but I don't think they have in stock anymore. But I do highly recommend both of these, and I definitely plan on picking up more SHODO Super for the rest of this channel to do more videos on. So until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or at LandingFigPR, and I'll see you all next time. So there is one little quick thing I want to add at the end of this video, so I'm kind of putting everything away here at the end. I do want to show this off though. You can make this, which is a thing that happened in the Hyper Battle DVD, the same one where Gokai Red used gold mode. It was this weird hybrid of GokaiSIlver and Gokai Red, so if you swap the boots onto GokaiSIlver and swap the heads onto GokaiSIlver, you can recreate this form, which is pretty cool. It's the only time, besides like, you know, custom repainting and everything, where you can make this pretty easily. They don't advertise this, but you certainly can do it. Which means pretty much the only Gokaiger form that they didn't make a SHODO figure of is Gokai Christmas, which you really can't make out of these in any capacity. But if you want to make the hybrid form, for whatever reason, you can.